Hi, welcome back to Early Morning Short Talk. I have an interesting idea for today. It's very niche, so hopefully this video is received by the right people who find it interesting. When you are a chatterbait performer, that is, an adult webcam performer, you are exposed to a lot of people. You come to expect that a large audience is going to watch your performance. And that is great during the time in which we're alive. In my case, I can have 40 plus people watching my stream at any 1 second, which is really nice. It's also nice when you can make people happy, make them smile, just for a few minutes, maybe an hour if they stick around that long. What people don't talk about, though, is how a performer might feel after the broadcast is over and that large audience disappears. That is to say, nobody really cares about the rest of your day. If you go from a situation where you are being viewed by, I don't know, let's say, in total, 500 to 1,000 people a day during your stream, and then your stream ends, and literally nobody cares about you afterwards in your regular life. That's kind of a hard spot to be in. Even if you have a select grouping of friends that you talk to, it's still jarring to go from having 1,000 viewers all around the world watching you, enjoying you, to then, afterwards, only talking to maybe 5 people. Now, I understand that the latter is a more normal reflection of people's daily lives. However, I am not interested in normal. Normal bores me. Perhaps if normal didn't bore me, I wouldn't have such psychological issues. But as it is, normal bores me. So we are stuck in this position. And as I said before, for me, it's not about chasing money, because you need to be very, very, very popular in the adult webcam circles or adult film industry to be making any real money. Just in my case, for example, I am currently in the top 49% of all creators on OnlyFans regarding the total amount of money we are all currently making. And let me tell you, the current amount of money I am making is very small. I wouldn't say it's insignificant, but it's very small. Much more important to me is having a large audience. Now, I feel like this has always been possible for me because I've always had a lot to say and I've always been interesting and somewhat attractive, so it's possible. But again, there is a downside which I feel gets overlooked and not talked about. It's kind of akin to how people view social media and viewing other people's posts. But this is perhaps a more unique spin on the possibilities that social media offers people. I wouldn't even say that webcamming gives me a true happy feeling because I don't feel that I am ever truly happy. But it does allow me to do quick math in my head and understand the temporary impact that I do have, which is ultimately what is important to me. It's interesting how fragile some people's minds are. I've made videos where I talked about how insidious suicide is because it only takes 1 day, 1 hour, 1 minute, or even several seconds for you to be at an extreme low, during which time you do something that causes you grave harm. Yesterday was a very low point for me, essentially feeling like I was in a bad place all day. And the only thing that really helps in that situation, which I found, is if you can sleep most of the day, your mental state might improve when you wake up. Now, if we contrast that to how I feel right now, I am by no means happy. Although, I do not have the intense desire to do something that would be very bad. It's interesting to me, in a sense. Perhaps normal people are better at managing their emotions because they have lower expectations. In fact, I know this is the case. Exceptional people, on the other hand, have a much more difficult time managing their emotions. Not to say there's anything wrong with being a normal person, living a normal life, having normal goals where you do not move from your hometown. However, I have never been, nor will ever be, one of those people. Even in an impossible situation, I will always strive to be more interesting, more capable than I would deem are the normal people of this area. I have no interest in going through all the physical and psychological pain on a daily basis just to be a normal person. If I'm going to go through such pain, it better be because at the end of the day, you leave an impression on people. You do something rather extraordinary. If not, then your time on this planet, in my view, my time on this planet, would be a waste. And that is just something that hopefully, at the end of the day, is something that cannot be said. At least, at the end of the day, when it's all over, regardless of how it all ends, people will say that I learned something from watching this person, or at least they will say that this person tried to be interesting. People talk about the meaning of life, and they have all these different answers to the question of what the meaning of life is. For me, a very simple but true answer is that the meaning of life is just to be interesting. If you can be interesting, then a lot of possibilities open up for you. Whether you can see those possibilities in your mind, or whether you are just totally blindsided by those possibilities exist. If we just look, for example, at this one particular video, this one video is not very difficult for me to make. It's really just a stream of consciousness video. However, it is possible that one person watches at least a portion of this video and finds it to be interesting. That person then thinks about the information and maybe perhaps it changes their behavior and entices them to think more deeply and be a more interesting person. If you can do that, I think you have succeeded